everyone. This is Vanessa Howley once again. I'm an ISSA, that's International Sports Science Association, and ACE, that's American Council on Exercise, personal trainer. Show you these certificates. There's ISSA, and here's ACE. There we go. You may check them out if you'd like. Take a look at me on their websites. I have no problem with that. Today I'm going to be doing a set of exercises that's going to focus on the total body. I'm going to alternate between doing upper and lower body exercises. There's going to be some core, some abdominal work mixed in with the whole thing. So those that are looking for an additional balance challenge. So the exercises will be using one arm opposite leg movement for some of them, so that it will give you an opportunity to challenge the balance when you do it. I have several props, as you can see here today. Stability ball, or some people call it a physio ball. It's known as either. A few weighted balls. This one, it didn't have a label on it when it was purchased for me, but it is a 2-pound weighted ball. And this one, I knew that it was 6 pounds, but for my own knowledge, I wanted to label the difference in weight for myself. Because even though it has a different color, to me, the color doesn't matter on the specificity for this color being this poundage, this color being this poundage, because every company is different. So I put it on the scale, I weighed it, and then I had a label maker, and then typed it on the label maker, printed it out, and then taped it onto the ball itself. So that it's a reference for me to know the heaviness of the ball, how much it weighs when I pick it up. That's just for my own knowledge. You're welcome to do what you want. I have a set of 3-pound dumbbells here. And I have our wonderful exercise loop. Yay! Okay. The first exercise we're going to do 5 different exercises. A 1-leg deadlift with a front raise. A V-sit exercise. I've done it in some of the previous videos, but I'll demonstrate it again here. A V-sit with the ball, one of these balls, with ball rotation. So it's going to incorporate balance and core stability at the same time. Excuse me. And this is an exercise I call a donkey kick, because when I do the motion, in my mind, I see a donkey rearing back and kicking its hind legs. It's a donkey kick, and the moving leg goes up into a knee lift. But you're welcome to call it what you like. There's some that just call it a glute press, doing that motion there. You're welcome to call it whatever you'd like. A tricep push-up is the 4th exercise, and an exercise called stirring the pot, because the motion reminds me of the witch's brew. You stir in the pot, the cauldron. So when I see that visual, that's what reminds me of that particular motion. Okay, so the first exercise, a 1-leg deadlift with front raise. I'm going to do 1 leg at a time. So the leg that is going to be moving to the rear, I'm going to step over here to the side because I don't want to kick anything. The leg that's going to be moving to the rear is the one that is facing you. Actually, let me turn it around so that I don't kick the ball. So the leg facing you is the one that's going to be going rear. And this arm, the one facing away from you, is the one that is going to be going out in front. The opposite arm is just going to be there to the side to help counterbalance on the body. The standing leg is the one that has the weight in it. So I'm going to start tapping the front toe, the toe that's closest to you. Brace the core, hinge from the hips. Now beginners, you can stay here with the toe in the back here and do this motion here. Now squeeze in the glute or squeeze in the heel. Bring the arm in as you bring the body up. So when you hinge forward, yeah, you can tell I'm wobbling a little bit. When you hinge forward, the arm comes up, but it goes no higher than the level of your head. You can have it lower, it just doesn't want to go any higher than that. Push the weight through the front heel to stand. Good. That was the beginner version. The intermediate, same form as before, but you're going to lift as high as you can and release. And advanced, starting here and then going all the way back and then all the way forward. Taking the leg as far back as you can and bringing it in. When I say kicking it back, that's what I'm referring to. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Shake that leg out a little bit. Yeah, I have the athletic tape on today. My knees have been bothering me, and I'll be going to see the orthopedist next week. So I'm tapping the toe that is closest to you. The opposite arm is going to be working. Hinging from the hips, core is braced. This is the beginner position. The heel down, push into the heel to stand. Again. And as I push into the heel, I'm exhaling as I do that. It helps to forcefully get out all of the negative energy and the carbon dioxide that is built up within the body so that the muscles can more easily contract. Intermediate. Now you can start intermediate at this level here and then bring it up to the level that you're comfortable with. I know I paused quite a bit when I was talking there. I was trying to focus on my balance. Okay, now advanced. Start here. Now just take it as far out as you can. Now on this side as well, you want to make sure that the arm goes no higher than head height, the level of your head. Okay? If you take it further back from that, it doesn't work the shoulder anymore. It works this area here, the trapezius. And that's okay if that's what the area that you want to work, but that's not the area that I intended to work today. Checking to make sure that I wasn't buzzed out during any of that. Okay. That was a few reps of the one leg deadlift. The next one is the V-sit with ball rotation. I'm going to bring both balls down to the floor with me. I'm going to try to get as close to this stand as I can because I know that I'll be better in the frame that way. Okay. Now, beginners. You start in this position here. If you need cushioning for your low back, you can put a pillow behind it. You can put one of those balance discs back here and do that. Or place your hands here and just do this motion here. Okay? Instead of doing the side-to-side rotation. Because if you do have back issues and you're doing that side-to-side rotation, it can actually make it worse doing that side-to-side rotation if you're having problems with your back. So if you do have problems with the back, but you can do this up and down motion here like this or forward back motion, do that. It's still working the core. It's just not working the oblique area as intensely. Intermediate. You're going to come here, take the weight in the hand, lean back, brace the core, go side to side with it. Try to take the weight to your hip as I'm doing here, okay? Okay. And your feet don't have to leave the floor. Your feet can stay grounded. If you want to really focus on the balance challenge, then you can do this. Have the feet elevated off the floor. But if you do that and you find that your back is not as strong and you're feeling the tightness in your back, feet on the floor, please. Now I'm switching to a heavier weight just to show some of the advanced people what I mean. And you can do this with a smaller weight if you want to just increase the range of motion, that's fine. Lean, sit up tall, lean back until you feel this tighten up here. Now you're welcome to balance the legs like this. My low back is starting to fatigue a little bit, so I'm staying here. And what the advanced people need to do, not try to touch the ball like that, but try to bring it closer to the floor. Now if you can't touch it like that, and rotate yourself all the way, that's fine. Try to touch that ball if you can to the floor. And then notice I briefly have to release one hand so that my low back isn't affected as much out of this move. So that's your beginner, intermediate, and advanced for the V-sit with ball rotation. Okay. Getting the loop. Okay. Just double checking. One time it had buzzed out on me and 10 minutes of the workout, you couldn't see anything. I'm like, oh, this is great. Okay. So what you're going to need to do, take the loop, either sit down and do this or come up against, I have my TV, so another sturdy surface will do. Take this around the arch of both feet. Okay. And I'm going to stand next to the TV here. This is where I'm doing my exercises, my workouts. I'm going to stand here next to the TV, and when I do the other side, I'm going to just turn it around and do the same thing on the other side. To do that donkey kick, or that glute press with the knee up. I'll show the beginner, intermediate, and advanced. The beginner, you don't need the loop on, okay? Or you can use a lighter resistance loop. This is a heavy resistance because I really want to target the big muscles of my lower body, and I want them to really feel the contraction. That's why I'm using the heavy loop. They have light resistance loops, medium resistance, and heavy. Take your pick. Oh, and the one that I bought, it was off of Amazon, but it was a Kathy Friedrich loop. You're welcome to look that up. Ask me questions if you so desire. Okay, toes pointed in the back. And so what you're going to do here, oh, sorry, actually, I'm so sorry. The foot, the leg that is working, the loop should be around the arch of that foot. The leg that is not working, I wonder why I wasn't getting good range of motion. The leg that is not working, the standing leg, the loop should be around that ankle. So this is your setup right here. This is how it should look. Okay? So I'm pushing this foot back, bringing it in to the front, and then bringing the knee up. So touch it behind, glute press, touch it again, bring it to the front and touch it to the floor, bring the knee up. That's the beginner version. This is for those that have a difficult time with their balance and are trying to get the muscle memory. For the intermediate, you push out, tap, and come straight up. So there is a tap in there, but there's only one tap, there's not two. And for the advanced people, let go, back, and then straight into it. No tapping. Now I have my hand near the TV, but unless I need it, I'm not using it. Okay. Fire in that standing leg too, holy moly. Okay. Other side. I'm going to hold on to the edge of this TV here. Now, I'm using my foot, holding onto the TV as I do this, using my foot to loop it around the front ankle, or the arch of the front foot. So, for beginners, press, touch, in back, bring in front, touch in front, knee lift. And it's up to you if you want to put a loop around your ankle or your foot. It's up to you. And by the way, it's better if you don't leave your foot hanging down like that, if you point the toe towards the ceiling. And I know I've probably been leaving the toe relaxed during half of this time. Sorry about that. Okay, now I can tell that it's shifting, so I'm going to reposition it. Okay. Now for intermediates, push out, tap once, bring the knee up. Push back, tap once, bring the knee up. Even I have to remind myself to point the toe to the ceiling, like that. Advanced, try to stand upright without holding on to anything. Push back, go straight into it. Push back, and go straight into it, no tapping. Ah, wow. Hold on to something to get it out of there. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that bites. Holy moly. Oh, Lord. Okay. All right, double checking. Good. Now, I'm going to show you a triceps push-up. I did not mention this earlier. I just now thought about it, so forgive me. There's a step that I have here, a 14-inch tall step. Now this is going to be a modification for the beginners for the tricep push-up. Now there's like therapeutic beginners for those that have a difficult time with their knees. This is going to be closer to what they would do instead of being way down here. And those that have blood pressure issues that still want to try to do this, this is also your option. So, for the tricep push-up, your hands, you want them to be in line with your shoulders, like I'm showing you here, okay? This is what you want to see. But I'm going to show you a side view to show you how your elbows should be in alignment. So my shoulders are in alignment. My hips are over my knees. So I'm not back here and I'm not up here. Okay, this is the beginner version. Your elbows are going to be going into your waist, towards your waist. Push into your palms to get yourself up there. And for those that have a difficult time getting down onto their knees, let me tilt the camera. Move the camera so that I can show you a different way to do this. I want to try to, there we go, point it to the wall. Good. Okay. I'm going to do this up against the wall here. So my arms are out like this. Okay, shoulder distance. I'm going to bring them down slightly. Bend your elbows towards the floor. Push with the hands. Okay? Those that have a difficult time bending your knees, or you just don't want to get down onto the floor, that will still work. Okay? The more you walk your hands down, the more you walk your hands down on the wall, there we go. The more you walk your hands down on that wall, the more difficult it will become because your hands are getting closer and closer to your waist. Of course, the more you walk it up, the more you're going to be working your shoulders. So start at shoulder height and then work your way down. This is also the beginner version. Hips stacked over knees. Hinge at the hips when you go down. So if you're in a beginner, you don't want to be doing this here and just having the body go down in one straight line. Hinge from the hips so the chest can go on top of that box or over that box. Intermediate, you can come out here. If you're, and it's not to say that you can't go to the floor for this exercise. For those that are trying to work their way up and they're just not quite brave enough to go to the floor yet, You can take your knees further behind you. Have the body from the head to the knees in a semi-straight line. And the entire body goes down from the knees to the head. In one stiff motion, like that. Okay. Now, moving this somewhat out of the way, let me show you another beginner version, intermediate. And I can try to show you the advanced, but the motion itself is going to be difficult for me. So, the beginner version, those that don't have blood pressure issues or sinus issues, you may follow me. So, bend the elbows towards your waist. Now, it's your choice. You see my feet coming up off the floor. That will engage a higher percentage of your own body weight as opposed to doing this, keeping your toes on the floor. Because the more surface area of your body that is being pushed away from the floor adds more intensity to the movement itself. For intermediate, we're going to take the knees further out. I'm not going to go as far down. Keep the core engaged. Keep the belly tight. Okay, same motion with the elbow applies on the advanced. That's as far down as I can go. I'm a little bit weak in the upper body, but I wanted you to get the full picture so that you would be aware of what to do, the form to take, what form to have. That was a tricep push-up. Now we're going to go on to stirring the pot. Okay. So, this one, depending upon your level and how adventurous you are, it can actually be a lot of fun. Okay, so, depending upon one, your level of energy, and two, the level of strength and endurance that you have, those that are the beginners, with this movement, it's a circular movement like this. Okay, so the closer in you are, so the smaller the circle that you're creating is beginner. As you go further out, it's intermediate, and really far out is advanced. So it's not, it is a lever type movement, but it's also going to be extension of the arms. Because if you have your arms in this position here, hips over knees, and you do this, then you are conditioning your arms. I can feel it working my shoulders and my biceps and part of my chest, in addition to my core when I do it on the beginner level. On the intermediate level, I'm going to lean into it slightly as I do this. And so my hips are going to come forward ever so slightly on this ball. Yes, the ball's going to move. It's circular, and you're going to have to readjust your arms. And that's okay, because at the end of each round, I usually feel like I've got to readjust. That's okay. For the advanced, now there's some people that I know that are advanced that can do this on their toes. I cannot do that. You're welcome to try it if you want. The advanced, you go as far out as you can, as far over to the side, up, and around, and back in. So the motion for the advanced, to the side, out front, side, and in. And that's the exercise I call stirring the pot. You know, when I'll be training several of my clients around Halloween, they would want exercises that, when I named them, it kind of gave you the visual of some spooky type thing, or, you know, a witch stirring, putting a spoon and stirring the cauldron. And so I had to come up with some of these names based on that. So, if you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and subscribe. I'm open to hearing your suggestions or reading them, either YouTube or Facebook or what have you. I also have a website that I'll be putting a link in the description below, so please check that out. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks. Bye.